You want me to start it?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Eye Opener Society.
What's up, everyone?
You have Hannah, you have me, Gary. We are your hosts, and welcome again to the Paranormal February. Uh, Hannah and I had a great time sitting down with Natasha Carlson from Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. I just want to make sure I got the conspiracy
Yeah.
right because I messed up saying conspiracies, but cryptids, creeps, and conspiracy. And if you look that up with a .com at the end, take you right to her website. You could hear all of her podcasts. We had a great time with her.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff was thrown out and talked about it. A lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff that we try to cram into a small little piece of podcast history, I guess. But now, tonight, you have your two hosts. And then I think in another week, we're going to move some things up because we're making a couple of changes. We're going to have another fantastic episode with Anne Lund, an up and coming writer, personal friend of mine. We had a great time recording with her as well.
Hmm.
And we can't wait to get that episode out. So tonight, we're just going to kind of do a little bit of a wrap up on this paranormal because I was really excited about getting the paranormal out and I wanted to do like an entire month. But when it boils down to it, you never really had paranormal experiences.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I've talked about them on a couple of our other past
And
episodes.
we don't want to be redundant.
Exactly, because that's the problem I have. I come up with this great idea and I run with it and I don't really plan things out. So I didn't want to keep talking about something that's just going to become, like you said, redundant.
Hmm.
I think we have the best episode upcoming, actually, with Anne Lund coming
We
in here.
do.
I think that one will just sum up the entire month. I think that'll be a great way to look at it. So, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to still talk about the paranormal because I know some of you are interested in it, just like I am. I'm completely fascinated with anything paranormal or anything strange, and I just want to touch on the basics of it right now.
Yeah.
Strange happenings can be considered paranormal. And there's a lot of hoaxes that go on with it. And there's a lot that has to do with beliefs as well. You could tell me a crazy story, you know, oh, it's so outrageous. To you, it actually happened. But to anybody else listening, who's going to believe it and who's not?
Hmm.
Take, for example, this Miami thing that happened with the aliens and all. A story that's so full of questions. And so, and since nobody actually knows what really happened, is that paranormal?
No.
Or is it?
I guess that's my closed-minded opinion on that. I try to be very open-minded with things, but believe what you want to believe. But my firm belief is that nothing paranormal happened.
It's possibly did. It possibly did not.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. But that is exactly the point I'm trying to make when it comes to the
Or
paranormal,
alien or whatever.
whatever it may be. Yeah. But even aliens are paranormal too,
Yeah.
as well. Because a lot of people believe they're from another dimension, really, and they're interdimensional beings, which falls under the paranormal. Um, but any activity when we're talking about haunted houses, and you've mentioned this, and I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Um, you get that creepy feeling if you're
Yeah.
walking past something that's weird, off
Bad
vibes,
energy.
bad
Yeah.
energies. Yeah. Um, so even though you probably never had true paranormal experiences, in a haunted house or anything, but you could walk by a house and you could say, "Hey, this place is weird."
No good. Yeah. Like
You'll
if I walk up in there, something's gonna make my skin crawl.
hmm And that is our energies reacting to those energies.
Hmm.
So, anybody out there, you may never have had an experience before. You may never have seen a ghost. You may have never witnessed paranormal activity, but you get these bad vibes. And sometimes you even get them from people alone, too. Bad vibes, exactly. And maybe they're reincarnated from another
Yeah.
life.
I've thought about that before.
Hmm
Like someone, Like if you believe in reincarnation, like someone was just born evil and they were just like someone like evil in the past reincarnated.
Hmm. Or complete opposite.
Yeah.
You might have known them from a past life that you were completely in love with or something like that, or somebody that meant something so much to you. You'll get these vibes because the paranormal does not have to be negative.
Hmm.
That's what a lot of people don't understand.
It
We
doesn't
don't
have
know.
to be. Yeah.
Don't.
I did I did talk briefly about like positive paranormal
Hmm.
experiences in our pod that will be released next next
Hmm.
week with Anne Lund. So yeah, but like I was a counter argument that I was saying, not to get too much into what we discussed in that podcast, is that the experiences that I had, I count I classify them as blessings
Hmm.
versus paranormal experiences.
Right. And we made the determination haunting. We use people throw words out
Yeah.
there, right? But here's the thing, and this is what I'm going to basically focus on this little episode with you guys. When it comes to the paranormal, we're going to use the word paranormal. We're going to use haunted. We're going to use supernatural. There's so many different terms, but here's the thing: nobody understands it.
Hmm.
There's no definitive, concrete evidence of anything when it comes to ghosts, feelings. There's probably scientific stuff as far as energy, because we know we're all energy. We
Yeah.
know we can feel it. That's proven. But what is on the other side? Is there interdimensions? We could put all sorts of labels on it.
Yeah. And a lot of people label, like you hear paranormal and hauntings and you automatically think negative, but it doesn't have to be. That's why I
Hmm.
said I consider mine like a blessing.
Hmm.
Because when I say, oh, yeah, I had a haunting, like, no, people are like, oh, what happened?
Hmm.
They're like in their seats, ready for me to tell this petrifying story. So that's why I feel like I revamped what my experiences was.
Hmm. Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily call it a haunting, but what you experienced would be considered paranormal.
Hmm.
But again, yeah, we don't want to, just push that paranormal into a corner of negativity because, again, we can't prove anything, but I can sit here and I can literally state that, hey, when you see those videos that are out there, whether they're true or not, people saying it's an evil entity because all the drawers are popping open and closing and slamming, and there's so much things being thrown. That too might not be evil. If you want to put it into perspective, or as best as you can, to see it from a different side, if you were on the other side and you really wanted to get through, wouldn't you be doing all sorts of crazy things?
Just to get someone's attention.
Attention.
It reminds me of the, not to go like so cheesy on this, but it reminds me of the movie Horton Hears a Who.
Hmm. Well, yeah. There you go. That's a good example.
Yeah, because it's a little speck.
Hmm.
And he's literally doing everything to be heard.
There you go. So
So,
if they have a pot, let's just say that entity, that spirit, that ghost, whatever word you want to use for it, wants to get a message to you, that they feel it's important enough that you need to know, they're doing everything possible to just to get your attention.
mm-hmm,
Now, can it go the other way? Can it go the evil way? Yes. Yes, it can.
hmm.
Um, but I really don't think anybody has gotten seriously hurt by a ghost.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I mean, I haven't done like extensive
Hmm.
hours and hours of research, but I haven't seen anything like mainstream,
Hmm.
you could say.
Right. Yeah, because sometimes mysteries around things tend to fall on the tall tales, very active imaginations and
Hmm.
such. It's good to be a skeptic.
Yeah.
It really is. I've seen plenty of things in my life. Something I cannot explain it. So my mind's going to work and it's going to try to explain it in a skeptic kind of way. But in the end, I have no concrete proof of anything. It's just something I witnessed. That's it. That's what it boils down to. I witnessed something. Was it supernatural? Was it paranormal? Was it a ghost? We don't know. But we're just going to label it and we're going to say, this is what happened to me. Who's going to believe it? And there's no scientific evidence to prove or disprove anything.
Yeah.
So everybody, you, me, we walk around in life and we experience different things that may or may not be paranormal, and it winds up on podcasts.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, or
Social media or a
social
blog or
media.
anything like that.
Yeah, or if you're mainstream, you're going on to some of these shows that deal with it.
Hmm.
That's what it really boils down to. And some people pursue it as a lifelong endeavor. They're trying to prove it, they're trying to find things, some of them better than others. And I think it boils down to the people. I think the real people that have the real power to find are the ones that are more susceptible. Because again, we talked about this with Ann Lund, and you'll be hearing that episode soon. That, yeah, some people are going to be much more open to these outside things from the other side or whatever it may be. People that are spiritual, some people that just don't realize, even your mom.
Hmm.
My wife is very susceptible to this kind of stuff, very open, and she has an open line of communication. And I think this is what happens with psychics and all. Not all of them, I believe, are truly psychic. Some of them, I do believe, have that kind of gift. It all boils down to the individual. Are they going to use it for good, or are they just a hoax? Are they just lying about it?
Hmm.
You know? So like I said, we're throwing this little episode together just to kind of touch base, and we're just going to kind of connect our one guest, Natasha Carlson, along with our next guest, Ann Lund, to kind of put some different angles on this,
Yeah.
you know?
So I did just bring up, because we had mentioned, where it's paranormal February, but I did want to stress that a lot of people seem to classify paranormal as supernatural, but there is a difference.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to read it
Go
out
for it.
loud. The paranormal genre includes creatures like zombies, werewolves, aliens, and ghosts, as well as phenomenal. Oh my God. I'm not even going to try to fix my life. Like, say
Telepathy.
telepathy, thank you, and time travel.
Mhm.
Supernatural refers to phenomenon. Oh my God. I'm really bad at
Little slow.
pronunciation, guys,
Mhm.
that are forever outside the realm of scientific explanation, such as God, the
Mhm.
afterlife, and souls.
Mm. I I love the fact that you dug that up because even before I had the whole idea for this paranormal February, I was looking at that, the difference between supernatural and
When you
paranormal.
when you brought it up, I was like, definitely, I don't want to like even bring up like they said like souls or
Mhm.
God or anything like that because there is a major difference. But a
Right.
lot of people make the mistake of classifying them together.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of people just kind of, because we hear the word paranormal more than we do supernatural.
And it's not necessarily people's fault too, because you see these mainstream shows like, oh, what's that big one? Um,
Ghost hunters.
no, it's the one with the two brothers. Ah,
Oh, I forget because I don't really
you
watch.
know what I'm talking
I
about
know the
though.
one, yeah, that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
the two brothers. And it's literally called Supernatural. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done.
there you go.
But
Okay.
they experience like
Mhm.
paranormal stuff too. So
Mhm.
I was like, I want to stress this specifically that there is a big difference because but
Mhm.
like I said, it's not their fault because you see shows, mainstream shows like that, and they classify supernatural things and paranormal things completely differently. So
They do, yeah. And there is a major difference because I think there was something else too, as far as scientifically between the two, paranormal and the supernatural as well. Um, but it's too deep to get into because I think that supernatural, we're getting very deep because now we're going into the whole God concept and all,
yeah,
you
which
know.
isn't something that we really touch on. We don't touch on religion too
Mhm.
much.
Not
So
too much, right? I mean, religion is there. It's something that's important. Everybody has their own beliefs, but I think religion as a whole falls under that
yeah,
supernatural because of the things that are being believed in, the entities that created life. That would be supernatural, beyond. I think supernatural is more going beyond science
yes,
to where paranormal, there could be a scientific explanation behind it.
correct. I
So,
agree.
yeah, so yeah, we could look at these things. What type of experience did you have? Did you have a paranormal or did you have a supernatural? Did you just get a feeling? They're all kind of related in some way, shape, or form. I really think as we go forward in life, we're always going to find something that's outside the realms of explanation.
Hmm.
We're going to trip over something eventually
The
in
only,
our life.
yeah, with paranormal like activity, we were stressing, like you could have had this experience and people may not believe you. The only thing that is an argument with that is parapsychology has been early noted back to the 1800s.
Mm,
That's social
yeah.
media was not even the internet wasn't even a thing. That
Right.
was like ink pen
Hmm.
times.
Right. And don't forget, when we go back to those days, paranormal, people believed anything was paranormal. I mean, if we go into like the witch trials and all that,
Yep.
you know, if you just were thinking outside the box, you were considered a witch,
Yeah.
paranormal, the devil, and everything else. And you could have been put to death for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the paranormal was, I think, even less understood back then, obviously,
Hmm.
but it was talked about a lot more. Pretty much everything was paranormal to
Yeah.
people that, like I
Parano
said,
yeah.
outside the box.
Telepathy, precognition, telekinesis, near death experiences, and reincarnation.
Hmm.
So it didn't really focus on what we in today's society says paranormal. You think paranormal, the first thing that pops to your head is those shows that
Hmm.
people have all those ghost
Hmm.
equipment frequency things.
Right.
You don't think of the origin of
Hmm.
parapsychology.
Right. You don't. I think we, yeah, we need to stop one from watching mainstream. I think those
Yeah.
shows are so scripted and it's a shame. Some of them are good, some of them they probably, but you just can't believe, just like you can't believe what you see
Hmm.
on social media. You can't believe what you see on YouTube
You can't
either.
believe those paranormal radio pickup apps that you
Mhm.
can get on your phone.
Right. It boils down to the individual, it boils down to the situation that you're in, and it just boils down to what you believe.
Yeah, and what you're open to.
And then it's also going to come down to the people around you and what they believe.
Hmm.
Not everybody's going to believe, you know.
And that's okay because at the end of the day, if you had an experience, you can believe that, but you can't expect others to believe you.
You just can't. It's society has not really accepted anything paranormal still. I think there are people with gifts. The only ones that get any kind of credit for it are the ones that are on the mainstream. And I think those are the ones that are not true to the gift at
Mhm.
all. And then I think there are people that are truly gifted that will never be heard of and they're shoved away in the corner. It could be listed as something psychotic or a mental,
Mhm.
disability. And that's a shame because there are people that are connected and we are just not as accepting unless you're on some sort of mainstream media show.
Yeah,
So we need to maybe think about it a little bit. Think about it in your past. Everybody probably has a story, a creepy story of some sort. And then there are people that might not have anything. But again, you're going to stumble on it one day. Something is going to be out of place, something that's going to be unexplainable, even though there may be an explanation behind it, but you might not know at the time.
exactly.
So I take all the stories you hear, make make whatever it is you want out of it. I'm very much into it. I'm very much in tune to paranormal. I really do enjoy it, but I don't take it and abuse it. You'll find out in our next podcast episode that I probably did abuse it at one point in my life earlier. But as you grow older, and especially me with the meditation and spirituality, it's a connection that you're going to find with me. I have a connection spiritually, and I just believe we're on another plane, and that's all. But if we concentrate enough, we could reach out and we can make contact to whomever we want in any other realm. It can be done. Not everybody believes that. So much for them. And that's fine. You don't have to believe. You might have a different way of seeing things.
Hmm.
And I think we should all be fine with that.
I agree.
Mhm. So that was our show for, like I said, we didn't want to go too much. Like I said, I think my eyes were bigger than my stomach when it came to paranormal February. Um, I just find paranormal fascinating, and I know a lot of other people do, but like I said, I'm not making my own mainstream. I don't want to abuse it. Like I said, I had experiences, nothing big, nothing recorded. So I think our guests kind of even out the show.
Yes.
Natasha Carlson started this out. Hopefully, you've heard that episode. Go back, listen to it from Cryptids, Creeps, and
A
Conspiracy.
conspiracy.
Um, hear that episode, hear what she has to say. And on our next show,
We'll have Anne Lund.
Anne Lund, who definitely, like I said, up and coming writer, grew up in a haunted house, one that I was in. She was a close friend of mine at the time. And she has amazing stories and her entire life, her field, and
Wonderful
what she
blog.
does in her blog, Haunted and Waiting. You'll hear all about it. And Hannah and I are going to get, ready for the next upcoming shows and all. Please go on our website, eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co. Even just to take a visit, even just to look around. We have pictures of us. If you've never seen a picture of us before, we are on Facebook too a lot as well under
The
Eye
Eye
Opener
Opener Society.
Society. So if you just search that, because we have a YouTube channel too. I keep saying this, Hannah and I, at the end of every month, we do a wrap up show called Behind the Eyes. And if you search for the Eye Opener Society on YouTube, you'll find us there too. We always have links down below. Check us out on these different platforms. We're trying to branch out a little bit. We like our audiences small anyway. We don't like to be all big mainstream. If you enjoy the show, we appreciate you, the audience, and we're just trying to give you a little bit of some more personal stuff. So join us
Mhm.
on eyeopenersociety.onpodium.co. Follow us on whatever your favorite listening platform is. We're on pretty much all of them. And don't forget, though, to check out our show on YouTube too as well. And Hannah and I will see you on the next podcast.
Talk soon.